Hey there guys, Trivial Elite here, and today I'm going to be talking about my personal top 5 favorite Game Boy games. Now, a few rules about this list. For one thing, I'm only doing one game per franchise. That's a rule that most people have. And another thing is, no Game Boy Advance games. That's the Game Boy that I personally grew up with, and I'm going to be making a totally separate list for that because there's a lot of games on that I love. But hey, let's get started. So, starting at number 5, we have The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. Now, I love the series Legend of Zelda, like, a lot. It's probably one of my favorite video game franchises, and The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages is a really good example of what all Zelda games should be. It's got fun puzzles in the dungeons, it's got a pretty complex story, but still simple enough to leave you, to explore and find your own adventure. And it perfectly mixes linearity with open world exploration. And also, the characters, they're interesting. It's fun to talk to NPCs because they actually have interesting things to say. There's all sorts of secrets for you to find. Like I said, the puzzles are fun. The bosses are really fun. I love the bosses in this game. Possibly like my favorite from Zelda series. And overall, Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages is a great example of a Zelda game. And at number 4, we have Kirbys Dreamland. Kirbys Dreamland is the very first Kirby game, if you didn't know that already. And like all Kirby games, I love it. It's definitely not my favorite Kirby game. There's a few Kirby games that I like more. But if I told you that, that'd probably be a spoiler for other lists, so I'm just gonna keep that to myself for now. But still, I love Kirbys Dreamland. Sure, you don't have the copy ability and whatever, but it's still fun, and it's actually a bit more challenging, because there have been remakes for it, which do have the copy ability. So it's a fun, challenging game, which not many Kirby games are. There's a hard mode, there's a cute, really simple story that fits perfectly with the tone of the game, and overall, it's just a really great experience, and I would definitely recommend getting it for the Game Boy. Sure, it doesn't really last very long either, but even with all of its flaws, it's still a really, really good game, and I would definitely recommend playing it. And at number 3, we have Donkey Kong Land. Donkey Kong is, once again, probably one of my favorite video game franchises, maybe even my favorite of all time. I just love everything Donkey Kong. And this game really captures the magic of the Donkey Kong Country games into a mobile console. Now, once again, definitely not one of my favorite Donkey Kong games, but still, I like every Donkey Kong game, so I like this game. It's fun, it's fast-paced, it's really good looking and impressive for the Game Boy, it runs smoothly, and even though it's in black and white and loses some of the color and stuff from Donkey Kong that we know and love, it's still really, really fun to play. It's got great music, it's got the same characters as the original Donkey Kong Country, and it's a great experience, and I would definitely recommend it. And at number 2, we have Donkey Kong 94. Now, I know this is kind of going against my rule of one game per franchise, but since you do play as Mario in this game and Donkey Kong is the enemy, I'm gonna count this one as a Mario game instead. I know that's kind of cheating, but I really love this game, and it just needs a spot on this list. So Donkey Kong 94 is not a traditional Mario game. It starts off with the 3 original levels from Donkey Kong, plus a new one. And that's fine and dandy, but then it added like 70 or so levels after that. And all these levels are fun, puzzle levels, they're a blast to play. The music is awesome, it looks good, it runs well on the Game Boy. There are some really funny death animations, and sure, it's not a traditional Mario platformer, but as far as Mario games go, it's definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, Donkey Kong 94, definitely recommend it. And at number 1, we have Pokemon Silver. Pokemon is probably one of my favorite video game franchises once again, but it might be my favorite. It's a pretty tough choice for me between Donkey Kong and Pokemon, but whatever. Now, I love the Generation 1 games, but Pokemon Silver and the other Generation 2 games really, really kind of just took the formula and blew it out of the water. There's 100 more Pokemon to find. There's just so much more area to explore. You can go back to the original region and explore there, get the 8 gym badges, and that final battle with Red, quick spoiler alert, is awesome. His level 82 Pikachu is really tough, but seriously, this is an amazing game, an amazing Pokemon game, and my #1 favorite Game Boy game of all time. So, yeah, thanks for watching. The next top 5 is going to be my favorite Game Boy Advance games, because I'm making a totally separate list for that. So I'm looking forward to making that one. And as usual, if you want to subscribe, it's totally up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.